I want to talk about the things they took without telling us. Not the houses, not the pensions, not the tuitions. We've been counting those for a while. The other things, the ones you can feel, but cannot itemize. I have been thinking about this for years, and I have never quite known how to say it. Every other monologue I have done on this channel has been about something measurable. The dollars, the interest, the tax code, the graphs. We've been very precise. The precision is real, and it matters. But there is a part of what was done to my generation and to yours that is not in any of those graphs, and I've been wanting to talk about that for a little while. Because if we only ever talk about the measurable losses, we're missing the deeper ones. The ones that shape how a person walks through their life. The ones that make a body tired in ways that do not show up on a paycheck. I'm going to read a list. I want you to listen for the ones that hit you. You will know which ones. I'm not going to tell you what to feel about them. I'm going to name them and step back and let you sit with the ones that are yours. Gen Z, this is for you and me. Older millennials know what's on this list because we lost most of these things first. You inherited the version of the world after they were already gone. You never got to know what was missing. We're going to look at it together. What follows is an inventory of unnamed losses, all of them now missing. Number 1, the quiet evening. The hour after dinner that used to belong to nobody. You came home, you sat, you ate. No second job, no app pinging, no email from your boss, no side hustle. Your time was yours. They took the quiet evening and replaced it with a notification. We are tired in ways our parents were not, because our hours after work are no longer ours. Number 2, the third place. The bar, the diner, the bowling alley, the church basement, the community center. The places you went that were not work and not home. They were where you saw your neighbors. They were where you became a person who knew people. They closed, one by one, over 30 years. Nothing replaced them except the phone. Loneliness is up. We are not weaker. We have fewer rooms. Number 3, the long review. The ability to plan more than 3 years out. To assume that you would be in the same job, the same city, the same housing situation. To have children when you wanted to instead of when the math allowed. The 5-year plan was a boomer luxury. We have a 6-month plan. They call us flighty. We are reacting accurately to a world they made unstable. Number 4, the single income. A house, a car, kids, vacations. On one paycheck by 28. Not because they were brilliant. Because the wage they earned was scaled to the cost of the life they were trying to live. We earn more in absolute dollars than they did, and afford less in absolute housing than they did. 2 of us working full-time cannot do what one of them did. The ratio is the story. Number 5, the functional local newspaper. The thing that told you what the school board did last night. The thing that named the local landlord doing illegal evictions. The thing that knew your city. It died because hedge funds bought it and stripped it for parts. What replaced it told you nothing about your block and everything about a stranger's outrage. We are uninformed about our own neighborhoods and overinformed about other people's tragedies. Both are by design. Number 6, trust in institutions. The basic faith that the doctor would treat you, the bank would hold your money, the government would do its job, the news would tell you the truth. You can call this naive. We had it. They lost it for us. Every institution we were told to trust was caught lying inside of our lifetimes. Now we trust nothing, and they call us cynical. We are not cynical. We are calibrated. Number 7, the right to be bored. The right to stand in a line, sit on a train, wait at a doctor's office, and have nothing to do. Boredom is where thinking happens. It is where the brain processes the day. We sold it for 15 seconds of dopamine 75 times an hour. Our anxiety is partly because we never let the brain finish a thought. We did not lose this one to them. We lost it to the systems that they built. Number 8, the job you could quit. The job your father walked out of when his boss yelled at him because he'd find another job by Friday. The leverage of mobility. The implicit contract that the worker had options. We do not have options. Our health insurance is tied to the job. Our mortgage qualification is tied to 2 years at the same employer. They engineered the lock and called the lock loyalty. Number 9, the kid you could afford. For many of us, the decision to have a child used to be an emotional one. Now it is a financial one. And the financial answer for many is no. Birth rates are not falling because we are selfish. They are falling because we did the math. They will tell you we are killing the family. They price the family out of reach. Number 10, the quiet of not being watched. The privacy of being a younger person figuring yourself out without a permanent record. Every mistake we make is searchable. Every awkward photo is forever. Every old opinion is retrievable. Boomers got to be young and private. We are forensic about ourselves at 22. They invented the surveillance and then mocked us for being self-conscious inside of it. That is the list. That is what I keep meaning to say but cannot fit into a graph. None of those things show up on a chart of household net worth. None of them show up in the inflation tables. None of them get fixed by a tax policy change, although a lot of them got broken by tax policy changes. They are the texture of being alive in this country, in this generation, and the texture is different than it was. And we have been told for so long that the difference is our personal failing that we have started to half believe it. It is not our personal failing. The texture is what got taken. They took the world's texture and replaced it with a feed. We are not soft for noticing the texture is missing. We are clear-eyed for noticing. Every one of those losses was so quiet, we did not realize we were supposed to notice it leaving. Notice now. I want to say something specifically to Gen Z, because there is a part of this list that hits you harder than it hit us. And I do not want it to go unsaid. You never knew most of the things on that list. You did not lose them. You were born after they were gone. You came into a world where the third places had already closed. The local paper had already been hollowed out. The long view was already impossible. The surveillance was already total. The institutions were already discredited. You did not get the before. You only got the after. That is a particular kind of grief. It is grief for something you cannot remember. It is grief for a country that the older people in your life sometimes describe to you, that they remember the smell of it, or they remember the feel of being inside of it, or that you only have to accept on faith it ever existed because the evidence is mostly gone. The grief of being told there was once a thing that was warmer, slower, less monitored, more human, and that you do not get to live inside of it because it ended before you arrived. That grief is real. Older millennials have a version of it, but you have the cleanest version of it. We at least remember being 11 years old in the late 90s before a smartphone, in a town with a working Main Street, in a country that had not yet been openly broken by 2008. You don't have any of that. You have a vague sense that something is missing, and a long list of people telling you to stop being so dramatic about it. You are not being dramatic, you are mourning. The thing you are mourning is real. It just ended before you got to see it. And that is one more thing they took, although they will never put it on a list, and they will never apologize. And the only thing we can do is name it for you and let you know that the missing thing was real, and the absence is not your imagination. Now, to the donor class boomer listening or watching this who keeps thinking I am being unfair, the country club boomer, the op-ed columnist, the trust fund retiree, the diner from last week's monologue, you did not just take the dollars. That's the part that gets reported. You took the texture too. You took the quiet evening, the third place, the long view, the single income, the local paper, the trust, the privacy, the leverage. You took them quietly, over decades, as a side effect of the policies that enriched you. You did not necessarily intend to take them. You just did not consider what it would feel like for the rest of us to live without them. The lack of consideration was the cruelty. You did not have to be malicious. You only had to be careless about the conditions you were producing for everyone who came after. The carelessness is what is unforgivable. Not because the dollars were not enough, because of how much else you damaged in the act of taking them. We can recover the dollars eventually. The texture is harder. The texture takes generations to rebuild. We're starting now. You will not be around to see most of it. We'll tell our children about you, and the children will not believe us, the same way we sometimes do not believe the stories about diners and bowling leagues and family doctors who knew your name. You did not just take the money. You took the texture of the country. We're rebuilding the texture. Without you. I want to close gently because this one was harder to write than the others. And I want to leave you with something you can carry instead of something to fight with. If you listened to this list and felt seen on 3 or 4 of them, you are not crazy. You are not soft. You are a person living inside a set of conditions that has been deliberately stripped of the small human things that used to make life livable. And your body has been quietly mourning them. And nobody told you what you were mourning, and that is the cruelest part of all of it. Not the loss. The fact that nobody named the loss for you. Older millennials, we owe Gen Z this naming. We are old enough to remember a few of these. We can describe them. Describe them. At family dinners, with younger cousins, with new hires at work, with anyone who looks tired in the way that has no name. Tell them what is missing. Tell them it was real. Tell them that they are not imagining the lack. Gen Z, you owe yourselves the act of trusting your own perception. The thing you are missing is not a personality flaw. It is a missing thing. Real, documented, stolen. And eventually, slowly, awkwardly, in pieces, recoverable. We will make new third places. We will figure out new versions of the long view. We will rebuild the institutions, hopefully better. We will not get back exactly what was taken. We can build something else, something close. We can build something honest. The texture of the country is the next thing on the list to repair. Older millennials, Gen Z, that is our project together. We are going to build it tired. We are going to build it unresourced. We are going to build it while being lectured the entire time by people who took the last version. We are going to build it anyway. That is what generations who love their grandchildren do. They build the texture they want the kids to inherit, even when nobody helped them, even when nobody named what was missing, even when the only thing they had to work with was each other. Each other is enough. Each other has always been enough. They took the texture without telling us. We're naming it now. We're making more.